Oh, yeah, baby. The Clark the Shark Show is in full effect for Sunday, Mother's Day. I think it's May 12, 2024. Here on the horribly imbalanced rhetoric of the Sharky from the Golden EIB Sharktacular phone. It's not a Sharker phone, it's Sharktacular. And here on Mother's Day, I want to send out a special happy Mother's Day up in heaven to my mom, Joanne. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that, you guys. It was good and bad. The bad was like, where you ignore like a fire burning, and then you go to your house one day and it's burnt down, and you're like, what happened? I think maybe Sharky did it at 1-800-449-8255. But there was good too. But sometimes I'm like, the good is like up against so much bad, or something. I don't know. I have my personal take and views on growing up in Redondo Beach, Torrance, at 251 Paseo de Gracia, way back in the day. But I do remember listening to tons and tons and plenty of David Bowie. And of course, this amazing, incredible album from 1973, Aladdin Sane. They call it the sixth studio album, but it seems like Bowie has like 50 albums by the time this one was released, with all the compilations and, B-sides and bonus track, whatever you call it. I remember in the 80s, there were just all these mishmash, pish-posh, cornucopia pizza albums that you had to get because they had little songs on them that you couldn't find anywhere else by David Bowie in the 60s. And I believe and think also, too, in the 70s, it was like that. He's got a lot of great songs that aren't on any albums and aren't on any compilation or B-sides albums or any of that. Also, too, right here on the Clark the Shark Show. And even now in 2024, I am discovering songs by David Bowie from the 60s, maybe 70s, that I've never heard before, you guys. I don't really care about the 80s and beyond. But there's probably plenty of Bowie there, too, that is laying around that maybe wasn't burned by Universal MCA Geffen in that fire in 2008. I don't think Bowie was a part of those tapes that got destroyed. He was on RCA and some other labels, and I don't think any David Bowie music was there. But if it was, that's a bummer, because those are going to be B-sides and rare tracks that are gone forever now, all because Universal burnt down all their music on purpose so they can make even more money later by suddenly popping up, oh, look, we've got a recording here. Oh, we got a recording here. It didn't get burned in that fire. Matter of fact, we have all the recordings all somewhere else. They're at Frank Zappa's house in his vault. They're somewhere, you guys. If you're going to sit here and tell me that every recording at MCA, Geffen, Universal, all burned in that fire in 2008, I'm here to tell you a couple of things. Number one, the fire was intentional, maybe, so that music would burn, and then they can later say, oh, look at this whole album by The Who, unreleased, you guys. What do you know? Go buy it for $19.99 or $29.99 online, or, dude, just come on. I find it hard to believe all these rare tapes just burned. But if they did, then Universal is a pretty stupid company for storing them in a vault like that with no sprinklers and shit, right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. And they said that it was actually some workmen working on tile roofs or something, or welding, or started a fire that burned the whole fucking shit house down, as Jim Morrison, the Lizard King, might utter. But me, Clark the Shark, you can't blame me. I was not there for the Universal Fire 2008, but who knows, maybe my spirit did it, because I hate those record labels, especially Geffen, MCA, you know, dude, fuck them. They didn't sign Clark the Shark, ignored Clark the Shark like so many people do, but whatever. What can I do? What can I say? God is like, it's good, Sharky, that you're ignored, and it's meant to be. You're just small, little, like a little mouse. No one will ever know you. You're just blowing in a gutter somewhere with some leaves, and nobody will ever give a fucking flying shit, except maybe God Almighty, and probably maybe not even him. Right here at 1-800-449-8255, the Clark the Shark Show. But I'm not talking about the pratfalls or pitfalls or folly of Clark the Shark. I'm talking about Aladdin Sane, David Bowie. An album I did listen to a lot back in Redondo Beach, Torrance, and it formed my musical acumen. That would lead to the Greenhouse Effect with Phil Keegan and the funny red-haired guy, Rick Carmody, who we all call Ted, the bassist. Ted because of Ted Rop, red top, inverted. Some more people that never call Clark the Shark or say hello right here on Mother's Day. Because I'm such a bad, rotten, evil guy. You know, I'm not friendly and fun like David Bowie, Aladdin Sane. I mean, look at this guy. He was Aladdin Sane, you guys. This album cover says it all. I mean, this, you know, when he did this album, too, I think he was going through some drugs that reached a crescendo. This is 1973. Then later, 1975, when he put out Young Americans, he was so strung out on drugs, you guys. But it looks like here on this album, he is too also. Probably a lot of coke, mainly. Alcohol and other shit. I'm sure David Bowie, much like Keith Moon, if you put any drug on a table in front of him or in his hand, he's going to fucking take it. Whether it's acid, mushrooms, or whatever, mescaline, pills, poppies, fuck, I don't know, you guys. This guy looks really out of it on this album cover. And of course, you know, the back cover, I don't care what the stars say. I give this album a 5, you guys, out of 5. Awesome. Just awesome, you guys. David Bowie, Aladdin Sane. Now, of course, 1972, Ziggy Stardust is before this. And then the album Pinups, which I really love, and then ignorant people hate the album or they say it's mediocre. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to other reviewers. You know, I'm not going to knock the sea of douche quality, because there's all kinds of lame fucking reviewers on YouTube now, you guys. Yeah, I mean, dude, he's actually kind of good. He's a heavy metal guy, into metal mainly, and then he tries to review the Kinks and other shit, and then that's where it goes bad for him. But people try to say that about me, Clark the Shark. Like when I make the slightest little mistake, they're like, "Oh, gotcha." They're like a Democrat. They're like, "Look, we caught Shark making a mistake." But make no mistake, people, here with Aladdin Sane, you know, some of these stars, you know, Mojo has it right, 5. Q, 4 out of 5. Rolling Stone, 4 out of 5. The Rolling Stone Album Guide, 5 out of 5. This album is a 4 out of 5, 4.5, or a 5. If anyone gives this a 3 or a 2, dude, fuck them. Don't listen to that fucking shit. And of course, there's the other. I'm looking for the one with Twiggy the model, back in the 60s, 70s. I'm looking for that other, But anyway, there's the flip side of this, or in some cases, it seems like it's the album cover. I always get them confused because Bowie's got the red, like, punk rock hair on Aladdin Sane, and then he has it again with Twiggy. And I just, that's Pinups, which of course is the cover album. But I'm always thinking it's here with, like, Aladdin Sane, because the covers are similar. But I like Twiggy, you guys. I just want to look at Twiggy back in the day. She's probably like 85 now, but any 1970s Bowie is good, especially early. I like later too. And I love Twiggy, you guys. I'm sorry. She was beautiful, kind of plain, like an all-American. She's from England, I guess, but she's got that all-American blonde look, or maybe I could say all-UK girl look. She's really not that hot, you guys. She's kind of plain. Twiggy. I don't even know her real name. But she is on Pinups with Bowie, but I keep thinking she's like either in the gatefold or somewhere on this album, but I guess she isn't. Side 1, Watch That Man, 4:30. Killer song, maybe a little too long. I wish it would have been 3:30, you guys. It seems like a lot of David Bowie songs do. It gets kind of convoluted and lost in itself, and kind of like that song, Somebody Up There Likes Me. It loses its way. And you're like, dude, cut like 2 minutes or a minute and a half off this song and you have a hit. There's something also kind of just run-of-the-mill, mediocre, blasé, cliche about Watch That Man, where you're just like sick of it or something. But me, Clark the Shark, I like it because I see the artistic good shit in it. Watch That Man, 4:30, awesome. Maybe not awesome, but really good. Now, of course, Aladdin Sane, 1913, 1938, 1907, like a guy going off to war, clutches of sad remains. Really beautiful melody here, and you can tell it is distinctly and uniquely David Bowie. I always just get the feeling like Paris or maybe hell. Do, 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 do. Waits for Aladdin Sane. Do, do, do. Who will love Aladdin Sane? It's just awesome, you guys. Incredible song. It makes the whole album. It is so amazing, atmospheric, and kind of dark and morbid and evil and mystical and underground magical or something. Aladdin Sane, 5:06. It's kind of long. The piano breakdown in it, like the weird piano solo, might go on a little too long for some, but maybe not. Me, Clark the Shark, I dig it. I understand it, you guys, because I understand David Bowie here on May 12th. 2024, Mother's Day, Drive-In Saturday, awesome melody, weird song. 4:33, really good. Side 1, you're like, wow, these are melodies, and there's a melodicism here that could only be David Bowie. And I remember being a young child listening to Drive-In Saturday and the sweeping atmosphere and melody of the song. Like, let me do, don't do, do. His name was always Buddy. And he'd sigh like Twig the Wonder Kid. Killer, you guys. And of course, Panic in Detroit, one of the greatest David Bowie songs ever. Awesome. I'm not gonna, Looked a lot like Che Guevara, drove a diesel van, kept his gun in quiet seclusion. Killer, you guys. Side one of this thing is amazing. And you're just like, Hunky Dory, Ziggy Stardust, the man who sold the world. Before this, you're like, wow, this guy is on a roll here. He's got another great album. Cracked Actor, awesome. 301. Could have been longer or something. Suck, baby, suck. Give me your head. Awesome. Forget the Sharks 50 because you just got paid. Cracked Actor, awesome. Time, side 2. Now let's get into side 2. A little bit too long, but I love it. Killer song, Time. Really starting to, I want to say Bowie is expanding, but not really, because he was expansive on albums long before Aladdin Sane. And Time, really just another amazing song. In Quaaludes and red wine, he flexes like a whore, falls wanking to the floor. Awesome. The lyrics are always fucking amazing with David Bowie. Time is incredible. Once again, it's got that melodic, atmospheric, textured, special thing going that could only be David Bowie. And The Prettiest Star, awesome, dude. I love it. 331 could be a hit song. Cold fire, sharks got everything but old fire. I do, you guys. I'm 60 years old. I got that old fire, and I'm no longer pretty. Like The Prettiest Star. Killer song, you guys. Now, if there's a weird song, like a weak link on the album that I could do without, yet I still love it, it's the cover of the Rolling Blunders and Mick, Let's Spend the Night Together, My Love. Bowie's version is interesting, you guys. He takes that dusty old Rolling Stones classic and he does something here with it. It's really awesome. I want you to just draw your own conclusion. I love it. It could have been off pinups. It sounds more pinups than this album. It does. The Gene Genie, of course, a Bowie classic. Way ahead of its time. It sounds like the Gene Genie could be off like Station to Station or, Young Americans or something, dude. Or later on after this, maybe Diamond Dogs. Killer, you guys. Now, the best song on the whole album, of course, is the final one, Lady Grinning Soul. Now, you and me, guys, we've been there with a girl. We met, a chick that's like 37, but she still got it. And you go down to Santa Monica with her, you have a few drinks or a coffee, and then you're back at her house, and she don't care about anything, the world. She just drives a green little BMW or a Beetle or car. And, when the clothes are strewn, you just do all these bad things to that little 37-year-old lady. And you're only like 23, 24. And you're like, I've never been with a lady this old. And she still got it. She's beautiful. Lady Grinning Soul. She don't care about anything. She's living for now, not tomorrow, yesterday. No, she's living in the moment. Lady Grinning Soul. I love that song so much because it's so true and honest and earnest right here on the Clark the Shark Show from the Golden EIB. Sharkerphone. It is a Sharkerphone, you guys. It's not a microphone. 1-800-449-8255. You know the digits. You know the drill. You call me Clark the Shark and tell me, Happy Mother's Day, Sharky. We don't love you, nor do we care about you at all. And I'm like, that's fine. I love it that way, you guys, because I don't need you. I have everything I need when I'm listening to David Bowie, 1973, Aladdin Sane. album number 6, but you guys, it seems like album number 25 or 28. I mean, even when I was 8 years old, you guys, in 1973, I remember my family, I think my brother Greg or my brother Paul or Jeff had tons of Bowie albums. And I was like, just a little kid, I was like 8 years old. And I'm like, how this guy put out so many albums? And people are like, he's been around a long time, Sharky. He goes back to 64, you know. And I'm like, wow, really? Bowie goes way back, you guys. He's like Cher or cockroaches. You know, if there's a nuclear war, Bowie will still be around. Even though he's gone now, you guys, God rest his soul. He's deceased as of 2016. I don't think it was 2017. But I remember I cried. I shed a tear. But somewhere in the universe, maybe up there with the Lord God in heaven or somewhere, maybe on another planet with UFOs, David Bowie is still alive and well in this universe, you guys. He made peace with God on Twitter before he died. I know he made peace with the Lord. And he's like, God, I'm just so weird. You made me weird. And God's like, I didn't make you weird, Sharky, or you, Bowie. You guys made yourself weird. And we're like, yeah, but you know what we're saying, God? You know, we are weird from birth. And God's like, yeah, I kind of dig it, Sharky. You know, the Bell's palsy, you know, half your brain doesn't work, or half your face doesn't work, or your left arm doesn't work, or your left leg or your left testicle doesn't work. Or he's like, I can dig it, Sharky, you know, be weird, go for it, but just don't be too weird. Right here on the Clark the Shark Show, 1-800-449-8255. And whatever you do, Clark the Shark, I don't want you to be as weird as David Bowie. Aladdin Sane from April 1973. I was turning 8 years old, you guys, and I already knew everything about David Bowie at age 8. And lots of shit, dude. Frank Zappa, I mean, the Beatles and all kinds of shit, dude. I was just a weird 8-year-old, and I wanted to learn and learn and learn about music. And sometimes later on, I would maybe buy too many CDs or vinyls for my own good, and I would just listen to them, and to my own detriment, because instead of hanging out with people or friends or girls or, you know, something, I would be in my room at 251 Paseo de Gracia downstairs in the dungeon, listening to Frank Zappa, listening to David Bowie, listening to, you know, Brian Eno or Peter Gabriel Genesis, or, you know, even non-Peter Gabriel Genesis, or Roxy Music, or, you know, just all kinds of shit. The Stooges, the MC5, punk rock galore, you guys. Yeah, I know there's a lot of South Bay, Redondo, Torrance punkers. They think they're the kings of punk, but they all secretly are like, yeah, you know, that guy in the Greenhouse Effect, Clark the Shark, he's got us all beat. And it's true, you guys, I do. And when I come up to you and say I'm a great musician or a great this or that, I'm not being a dick or a douchebag. It really is true. And I don't want to lie and be like, I'm okay on guitar, I'm an all right singer, you know, or I am pretty mediocre, you know, on songwriting. Humble, baby, you stumble. And me, Clark the Shark, you know, like Zappa, I'll just fucking tell you I'm a goddamn genius and leave it at that. I don't want to talk about it and all that shit, but, you know, I'll never be as talented or as good or great as the true greats, you guys, like David Bowie, Aladdin Sane, this incredible atmospheric, weirdly 70s psychedelic, kind of funky, kind of bluesy, kind of dance, kind of R&B, but no, you guys, it's more weird. Like I can pretty much say about all David Bowie albums right here on the fabulous, incredibly amazing, and you might find it boring and mundane, Clark the Shark Show. You might even say, Clark the Shark, you are horribly mediocre. You really don't know about David Bowie. And I'll be like, you guys, I swear to God, I was listening to David Bowie when I was 6 years old in 1971. And there are people in the South Bay, Redondo, Torrance, Lomita, Gardena, Palos Verdes, Hermosa Beach, that were like, don't try Clark the Shark, you will lose. He fucking was listening to everything. It's no joke. You don't know more about music than Clark the Shark. I mean, you guys, I'm no Eddie Van Halen on guitar. You know, I don't play fast, cheesy solos all the time. But if I wanted to sit around with a metronome, I could either play really super fast guitar, drums, bass, or anything I wanted, you guys. I do things from feel, and I write songs from feel. I can't explain that, or by ear. No lessons, you guys, self-taught. Not that anyone would care enough to hire me a lesson guy or whatever, but thank God it all worked out how it is. And I find myself all alone at age 59 or 60 today, May 12th, 2024, reviewing David Bowie, Aladdin Sane. Awesome, incredible album that I want you to buy. I don't care if you were born in 2003, 2 years after 9/11, you know, when those terrorists bombed the World Trade Centers. That's not important. Any age, you guys. You could be 18, 16, or 63, or 52. I don't care. I want you to buy David Bowie, Aladdin Sane at Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, and everywhere online or wherever, at a swap meet, Rhodium, garage sale. Get the vinyl if you can. You probably won't find a good vinyl of this, but if you do, try to make sure it's an analog vinyl. And I'm not saying that to be like Eddie Douchebag from Pearl Jam or Pearl Glam or Douche Grohl. I'm saying that from the heart and soul of Clark the Shark. I want you to listen to analog because I know more about David Bowie than Douche Grohl or Blake Douchebag himself will ever know. And it's true, you guys, Clark the Shark and everything else too. Not just music, but me, Clark the Shark, I am a chosen one. Right here in the Sharkulation, which you are all in. Not a chosen one, the chosen one. The one that people don't like. And it's for a reason, you guys. And it could be because I know so much about David Bowie. I don't know if that's why it is, you guys. I really don't. But whatever it is, if you're a chosen one and people don't like you, that means God likes you whether you like God or not. And you are a very dangerous person to those around you. Try to be one. Be like me, Clark the Shark, and be chosen for God. He'll be like, Sharky, that's a bunch of nonsense. I don't choose anyone. But I did choose you, Sharky, right here in the Sharkulation. Controlled by me, all your lives, all your thoughts, all your dreams, all your everything. It is all written, produced by me, Clark the Shark, for a documentary that I'm doing that I started, funny enough, in the year 1973 when this album by David Bowie was released, Aladdin Sane. I was only 8 years old, and I started a documentary about the planet Earth. And then I soon realized that I wrote the entire planet Earth, maybe by mistake, inadvertently or accidentally or otherwise. But it's interesting, and I'm having fun with it here on the Clark the Shark Show. 1-800-449-8255, the Wolfman Jack on crack, the Sharkalamba Ding Dong, the Sharkadoodle Doo, the one and only chosen one. From the solid gold mixed with platinum and some nickel. Clark the Shark, Sharkerphone, not a microphone. I want you to be here daily and make sure you listen.